Here in Norwood, this is a giant skating facility. You can see this large rink behind me that is completely empty tonight. There are a couple of other rinks here, but even those, only a handful of skaters. Instead, what we've been seeing are family members coming here with tears in their eyes and flowers in their hands. Everyone here calling this skating club a family. They are that tight-knit. There is also a memorial that is growing here at this skating club tonight. We have seen, as we mentioned, flowers. So many members of this skating club were out in Wichita for the U.S. Figure Skating's National Development Camp, which came right after the championship, which was last weekend. That camp where these victims had been before they got on that flight yesterday is hoping to prepare the champions of tomorrow. And speaking of champions, U.S. Olympian skater and Stoneham native Nancy Kerrigan came here to this club today. She is a former member of this group, and she wanted to be here, she said, to offer support in the wake of the tragedy. And it was a very emotional day for her. WBZ's Beth Germano is live here in Norwood with me tonight. And Beth, just a tremendous feeling of sadness here. And sadly, it's a feeling that this club has felt before in the past.
Well, sadly, David, it was back in 1961 that 5 members of this club were killed in a plane crash as they were heading to the World Figure Skating Championship. So this tragedy has shaken this club to the core, saying it is like losing family members all over again. An emotional day at the Skating Club of Boston, a day when the ice was eerily silent, and tributes to the fallen coaches and skaters who worked and trained at this elite facility were pouring in.
Being on the ice just isn't the same. We need all these people in the building to look up to continue to inspire us.
Among those lost in the crash, 13-year-old Gina Hahn, a skater described as Grace on Ice, and Spencer Lane, a 16-year-old phenom, who are both attending a development camp in Wichita, Kansas, along with their Russian-born coaches, Vadim Nomov and Zhenya Shishkova, 1994 World Pairs champions and 2-time Olympic competitors. Their son Max, also a competitive skater at the club, was not on the plane.
But I don't want to lose the energy or the dedication or the spirit of these kids and just the phenomenal talent of these 2 coaches. I have to say personally, I'm going to just personally miss them all.
Executive Director Doug Zegheib says it's not just a training facility, but a second family where skaters devote hours and hours each and every day to the sport. This is like a second home to these skaters.
It is a second home to these skaters. It's a second family to these skaters.
And Olympic skater Nancy Kerrigan knows that well, who arrived at the club with fellow Olympian Tenley Albright, both visibly shaken by the loss to the skating community.
We just wanted to be here and be part of our community.
Gina Hahn and Spencer Lane had been singled out as rising stars, while their coaches developed skaters from the earliest years into champions, bringing with them a strict but nurturing style. Skaters who train here are still trying to process the incredible loss.
It's a sad day, it's heavy, but we're just trying to lift each other up and be here for our community.
A community Nancy Kerrigan says knows resilience.
Falling over and over and somehow picking yourself back up, which is like the main lesson I think learned in skating, is you get back up.
And at this hour, the rink would have been filled with skaters practicing their sport, but now the club says it will be up to individual skaters to decide when they are comfortable to return to the ice. And it's not yet clear if any upcoming events or competitions will be postponed. Reporting live from Norwood, I'm Beth Germano, WBZ News.